And you look at Saints Row 2 and think about everything that you got. You got the Sons of Samdi and how they were messing with Shondi a lot. You had the Brotherhood, and don't even get me started on Carlos, on what they did to him. Like, you want to talk about a serious storyline? You want to talk about serious moments in the Saints Row 2? That is one of the most serious and gut-wrenching moments in the whole franchise, is what happens to Carlos and what you're forced to do afterward. The Ronin, what happens with the Ronin and killing Johnny Gat's wife in front of you and him, and you could do nothing about it until you ended up, you had to save Gat technically twice in the game. Once when you busted him out of the courtroom, which wasn't that serious. And it's funny because when you think about that scene, you get two cutscenes with Gat in that sense of a rescue sense. One of which is at the beginning of the game when you have to save him out of the courtroom, and that was a funny one because of what the puns that happened at the beginning when you bust into the courtroom. The second time though is when Gat is in the hospital and you have to rescue him out of the hospital from the Ronin who are trying to go after him. And that's serious. That's a serious moment. And it's funny how in both those situations, you're still saving Gat. You're still technically saving Gat, but it's two completely different tones. And that is exactly what the definition of this franchise is. This franchise is about gangs. It is about, togetherness. It is about that wacky, funny humor. It's all those mixed into one. And somewhere along the way, that was lost. Saints Row was one of those games, and I know I'm going on a tangent about Saints Row now, and this is supposed to be about a streaming update, but I kind of did the streaming update, so now I'm going to give you a kind of a impromptu Road to Saints Row stream right now. So Saints Row became what it became when Volition decided they wanted to take it in their own direction. But when they took it in their own direction, they kind of forgot what was the roots of the series. And I think for a lot of people, the roots of the series was the second game. The third game sold well. The third game sold real well. But the second game really captured that Saints Row experience, to really feel like you were the boss, you were the player. That game still stands to this day the test of time as the definitive Saints Row game. And no one at all is saying that the reboot is going to be Saints Row 2 levels of good. Okay? I'm not saying that. I don't think anybody's in their right mind would say that, because it's not going to be Saints Row 2. It's not. I think as much as it's going to hurt to hear, I think the community needs to understand that this game is not going to be like the old games, and that we shouldn't compare them to the old games, because that's just a falsehood right there, because there's no comparison to that, especially Saints Row 2. There's no way that you can compare that game with this game. There's no way you can do it. We don't know what this game is truly capable of until we actually get the game on our systems, the controller in our hand, and we actually play the game and play through the story and see what they have to tell us and see what the journey they're taking us on. That's it. That's all. We have no other things to go on. And we can't just sit here and go, oh, well, because it's not Saints Row 2, I'm not playing it. Because it's not Saints Row the 3rd, I'm not playing it. Like, no. At some point, we have to be objective and understand that, yes, they're giving us a lot of things that Saints Row 2 and even Saints Row 3 had. We're getting a lot of those things back. We're getting layered clothing back. We're getting deeper customization on your character. You're getting deeper customization on the vehicles. We're getting deeper customization on your HQ. We're getting socks. Like, there's so many things in this new reboot that we're getting that's straight from Saints Row 1 and Saints Row 2 and 3 specifically. I wouldn't say the first one, but specifically 2 and 3. And yet, this game is still treated like it's the worst thing in the world. And people are going to feel that way. People have a right to their opinion. People have a right to say, oh, well, I'm not buying this. I'm not supporting Volition. I'm not supporting Deep Silver. And that's fine. You don't have to. You don't have to. I'm not going to sit here and force you to like something you don't want to like. But at the same time, don't ruin it for everybody else. If everyone else around you is happy for the reboot, but you're not, fine. That's fine. But it's clear to me that the devs are actually trying to push this as something good, and I think it will be. I think it's going to be great. Will the story suck? Probably. We don't know about the story yet, so we can't say if it's going to suck or not. And personally, I wouldn't want to know about the story yet because of the fact that you don't want to spoil too much. You don't want to spoil too many things that you have planned, because if you have a surprise or two hidden in there for the story, it's no point in just throwing it all at one time, because then you're just ruining things.